All right, here we go.
Oh, okay. Let me get
Welcome.
back.
Sorry. The first 10 seconds gonna be like, all right, let's start again. All right. Welcome, welcome, welcome to Victorious Places. I am your host, Veneda, and I have got a treat of treats. It's yummy and delicious, like one of my favorite cereals that we should never eat, like Lucky Charms. I have the good, the great, the amazing. Tell them who you are. Tell them who you is, my friend.
Hello, I'm Lisa Kincaid. I'm the creator of the Empathy Effect, and I have never been compared to Lucky Charms. So, thank you.
I mean, it's your day. It's your day. So I'm like so honored to have you here. Like this is one of my first podcasts. So we're gonna start with like why we're even here. Um, the Victorious Places project literally has been laying dormant on the shelf like books with bookends. Very pretty to look at, but not very useful because of a few things. But just in this time and in this season, it was like God was like, "Girl, if you don't get that book off that shelf and stop playing." I just think it's such a important time that everybody who has good godly, and I'm gonna put them together, not just good gifts, but
Right.
good godly gifts.
Yeah.
Like we have to like put them out into the arena right now because we just need a lot of things to balance out right now. So it was like I just knew 100% that it was time for Victorious Places to come out. So um, and I wanted to have somebody who means a lot to me, who means the world to me, to be on like one of my first, you know, so I could get the jitters out. So I have one of my close friends. I don't have very many close friends. And then they end up just being part of the sisterhood. Like, I just swallowed them up. And Lisa's one of those people. You don't really want to be my sister because once I take you in, I take you over. Poor Lisa's finding that out the hard way. She's like, "Wait, what? I can't go outside. Like I'm a grown woman. I'm a grown woman." I'm like, "No, you can't. I gotta know where you're at."
Right.
Um, Lisa, it's an honor to have you here. Thank you so much for agreeing to do this. So we're going to talk about purpose and passion projects because that's what we do at Victoria's Places. I'm calling out to everybody. If you have a passion project, if there's not something that you know that it's your God-given purpose to do, I don't care what you're currently doing right now.
Hmm.
I'm calling out to you. If you're 9 to 5 in, if you're gigging, if whatever you're doing, all of us have a talent. All of us have gifts that God has given us, and sometimes He has to stir them up. But we all have these gifts and talents, and this is the thing. Like when He comes back, He expects you to have used that gift and talent with some interest,
Yes.
right? You don't
Right.
expect any of us to have buried this talent, like Veneda Polite, throwing my name in the box. Um, so I'm just calling out to everybody who has these purpose and passion projects. Like, let's get them out here. Let's put them out here because when you do what you love what you do, and you
Right.
can help serve and give to others. So I love helping people explore and do their passion projects so they can help, give, and serve others. That's it. All right. So Lisa, let's chat it up. Let's do
Yeah.
it. We are at two different ends of the spectrum. I have had a passion project that I had in my back pocket, like that dollar that's all folded up. You don't wash it in the.
Right.
I've been working on my passion project in private, because it's near and dear to me, and I love it, and uh, but I didn't want to put it out. I don't want to be out here. Let's talk about your passion project first, and then we're gonna get into some juicies. All right. Tell me
Yeah.
what your passion project is and where it currently is in its creation.
Okay, so my passion project is called the Empathy Effect. It really came about, I'd say, during the last 10 years of my career. I was in my second career life cycle. My first was in advertising. I was an advertising exec in Manhattan for um, close to 20 years. And then I, quote, retired early and moved to nice, sunny, warm, hot Arizona.
Throw that hot
Um,
out there.
yeah, hot. It's a dry heat. And worked in on the tech side as a tech exec in healthcare for almost 20 years. So in my last 10 years, I saw I saw how people treated one another, and not in a kind way. I
Yes.
saw people being elevated to positions that they never should have been. However, there was a need, and it was easier to promote within versus spending some quality time finding quality people. Um, I've seen leadership who didn't recognize that your people, your teams, your human resources are necessary, are the foundation of your business. And you're not, one, recognizing it, and two, you're not treating it with the reverence, the importance that it has. And so it was important to me as I go through, and I was in leadership positions, for many, many years. I just didn't like the way things were happening, and they were happening in different levels. But in order for there to be real change, it has to start from the top down. And so the empathy effect, what I'm trying to create is a mind shift um, within, your C-suites, so that they then can remessage, repackage how, or remessage and repackage the ability to have a workplace that is based on a couple of pillars. And my pillars are empathy, psychological safety, leadership versus management, life, work balance. Everybody tends to talk about work-life balance, but life is important and should come first. And if you're doing life right, you can do work right. Hello, somebody. So
That's a big blink blink for you. Go ahead.
it's really a mind shift, right? It's talking it out. It's having leaders understand what it takes to create culture in the workplace. And so that's what the empathy effect at a high level, that's what I'm trying to create. I'm trying to create a business where I can go in and help companies who really are concerned about the level of commitment and the stepping the revolving door, especially in the tech section, right? So in the tech sector, there's tons of tech jobs out there. And you'll leave to go to another one if you're not treated right. And you'll even take less money. Research has shown that people will take less money if they're in an environment that they feel appreciated in, that they're making contributions in. And so you want to retain your good quality human resources. And so how do we create this culture in the workplace that people want to be in, that they want to get up every morning and go to work or log in? that they're committed to not only the products that their company is building, but to the customers, the consumers in which we're selling these products. So high level, in a nutshell, that's what the empathy effect is going to be doing.
I got like a half a page of notes from the intro. Fire. Wow. That's crazy. So we gotta unpack all this. Like
Yes. Yeah.
it's just like
Yep.
like you like you just drop like the big Easter egg, in the middle, like all the children are running towards it, like ready to tear it apart. Like, all right, um, not even borrowing the current culture.
Oh,
Um, right here, you're talking about creating a culture. So we gotta let's just unpack that for a second, like because these cultures don't just exist by themselves, right?
yeah.
Right, it's like you believe in evolution, like nothing came out of nothing and then nothing created something and then something
Right.
became something amazing and it had millions of no, like these are things that are created, like somebody's hands have to be on them, somebody's voice has to speak to them, like and I love what you kept slowing the word down. That is a human resource.
Yes.
It's a resource that are human beings, right? So
Mm-hmm.
like and how do you create cultures? And I know you went through the 4 pillars, and I think there were four, but like that all sounds really nice, right?
Yeah.
But I
Yeah.
mean, Lisa, is that really something that you can create a culture?
Well, yeah, it is. Absolutely, it is. You can create anything as long as you have people who are willing to participate to create it and to foster it and to help it grow. I mean, it's almost like a product itself, right?
Mm,
You create a product, right? You help it grow, you scale it, right?
mm.
You know your target audience,
Ugh.
and you put it together, you package it in a way that is pleasing to a consumer in a way that it's a call to action, right? I want you to buy my product. And this is what I'm going to do so that it is appealing to you, that you would want to buy it. Like not even hesitate. Like I want that, right? And so why can't that be true of culture in the workplace?
Are
And
you
that's
talking
why
about marketing culture? Like you can actually market, because girl, like you blow my mind here because
it's a
I
mindset.
it
It's
is
it's 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 really, really, really about mindset. And if you have the right mindset and you have the right executives with that mindset, and that trickles down, not as
mhm.
a mandate, but as a way of doing business at your company, then this is much easier than it sounds. It really is. It
Okay,
really,
so
really is.
okay, because I the reason why I started this is because I have met like some amazing people. I don't mean like regular uh Joe Blows here. I'm talking about people. I'm like, wow, you do that. Like people need to know about you and what you do, and which is why I really wanted to start Victoria's Places. One, so that we can um, get these voices like you, out to the next generation, and also to get voices out like you to our generation, so we can say, baby, you can do it too, right? I don't care what it is that you're thinking that you can't do, you can do it.
Mhm.
um but there's something that you keep hitting on, so I gotta dance on it, right? You keep talking about this trickle down effect, and I'm gonna go into that Reaganomics, trickle down economics, how somehow it starts at the top, right? And
It
these people
does.
at the top are gonna like trickle down this goodness and trickle down this wealth and trickle down whatever. And in some cases that doesn't work. But in this case, right, if it doesn't trickle down, is it possible that it can revolt up? Because the people can really want something in a business and demand it.
Yeah. Yeah. Yes, but the impact and the immediate effect of it is not there, right? You get tired of, as an employee, trying to make change happen from the bottom up. That's hard work, and you're already doing your day-to-day job. So you really expect people to fight to do something that they expect their leadership to be able to provide. Can it happen? Yes. Is it successful? Most times, no. Um, and here's the other thing about the trickle down, right? The reason that trickle down sometimes does not work is, I'm going to relate it to a blocked artery, right? The blood flows, but when that artery is blocked, you have to remove that blockage. Mm-hmm. And we have people in leadership positions who are, okay, that I've seen, who are just hanging out, waiting to retire, and are not about to get on board with change.
Yeah.
And those are the people that we need to stop promoting and that we need to remove. And we need to be intentional about creating this culture. And so if we have, the C-suites are all on board, they're having training, they're bringing me in to train their middle management levels of leadership, but you have a handful that they're not going to participate. In order to be successful in creating culture in the workplace, you must remove your blockages in order for your heart to beat as one.
Okay, we done had an angioplast. We done had a balloon. We done had a balloon.
Right, some stents put in, and
I mean the LAD was blocked. We done had a triple bypass up here.
And as funny as that is, it's serious. I mean, like I'm serious. We have to remove the people and the titles that are not going to participate, that are going to dig their heels in, that do not like change. Again, the first part of this is the mindset. You have to have a mind shift. Things have to shift in how you think about the workplace, how you think about your employees, how you think about getting more, right? So your profit margins year over year, at some point when I was in advertising, excuse me, I had to go into the general market agencies and say, because they were having problems with profitability increases year over year. They were stagnant because they had kind of reached their plateau. Well, you're missing a whole segment of people of color, who spend trillions of dollars every year.
Say the number again.
Trillions.
How much money we throw out? We throw
trillions of dollars every year. And I'm telling you, in the strategy that I brought to these general market agencies helped to break the glass ceiling in profitability, right? Yeah. And they saw their profit margins grow year over year because they tapped into another way of thinking, right? Inclusivity. So,
Lisa.
But it's about, if you're talking about money, okay, let's be real.
Money green.
About money
green. Money don't have no other color but green.
Exactly. You're talking about money. Your consumers, when you're selling a product, your consumers that you are selling your product to, your workforce needs to mirror your consumer base.
Your workforce, your market needs to mirror who you're trying to market to, your consumer.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So girl, I had to stop right just so I could just listen to what you're saying, but we got to go back.
Okay,
I'm the
sorry.
trucker. I'm the one you left the breadcrumbs back, back in the chair. Like, okay, we gotta, because there's these two words that people believe are interchangeable: leadership and management.
Oh, yes,
Girl, right?
that's a problem. That's a problem.
So
That
the managers who tell you what to do, right?
yes,
That's it. And leaders
yes.
tell you how to do it and they care how it gets done and they care about you.
And they invest in others, right?
Yes.
Leaders invest in others.
Yes.
They want to see you grow. They want to see I think one of my best strengths when I was in leadership was I was always looking for my replacement, right?
Oh, say it.
I'm setting up my succession plan
Say
always
it.
because I know God has more for me, no matter where I'm at, right? On the ladder. I know God has more for me. So I can't leave my position, my leadership over groups of people, because at one time I had over 300 people that reported through and up through to me, and I did not want to leave it vacant for just any Joe Blow to come in and not run things the way, or have the heart. That's really what it's about. Have the heart to lead my team in the same manner and with the same mindset that I had. And so it's important that you groom, you find, groom, establish, and set up
Come on.
your replacement.
Come
Always,
on.
always. Always.
Yes.
And managers don't do that. Managers manage people. They tend to be, what's the word? Micromanagers. That's why manager is in the micromanagers. And that is toxic. It is so toxic for your workplace environment. The other thing is that,
And the manager believes that they have to do it somehow, or somebody has to do it like them for it to get done. The
yes,
leader's trying to find a way to get you to do what I've already done.
yes. Well, and that kind of goes into my one of my second pillar is the psychological safety, right? You have to create an environment where people are able to share, people are able to use their voices. I promise you, guarantee you that if you pulled all of your people together in one room and said, here's the problem, regardless of title, regardless of level, regardless of if they're a product manager, a UX designer, a developer, an architect, an engineer, does not matter. Bring them all together and everyone will be able to come up with a solution, because when you're working every day, day in and day out on a product or on a solution, you already have in your mind, well, if we did it this way, this probably could you, right?
Listen to the
But
people.
when you're not working in an environment with psychological safety, you just you're status quo. You follow status quo. You do what you're supposed to do, not more, not less, hopefully not less, but definitely not more, right? But when you tell people, you show people that your voice matters. If you come up with an idea or you see a solution to a problem, I want to know about it. That's how we've been able to, in my last position, how we've been able to create products that out the gate were good. We didn't have to do a whole bunch of revisions or versions of it, right? It was good because it was polished and it was tested over and over and over again before it hit the street, which is not MVP, by the way. But it works, and people are invested in fixing problems. So you let them fix one problem, they will fix all the problems.
So we got to go back.
Okay.
And only because I'm telling you, you're leaving breadcrumbs here. I feel like I'm as Hansel and Gretel right here. So and only because you said something that's so poignant that it cannot be left on the table without being dissected. And I was in the military, I was in medicine, I've been in the ministry. That's my, I call it my triple threat. I believe everybody has a triple threat or a triple talent. But in all those positions, there's always the next man up, right? You could
Mhm.
be, I have a whole brigade, and then 6 months later, you call somewhere else. Somebody else has got to step in those shoes. In medicine, you work the 12-hour shifts. You got to turn over those patients. In ministry, you're preaching today, somebody preaching tomorrow. So you're doing a
Right.
prayer today, somebody doing a prayer tomorrow. Like all these things always next man up, right? And then when you get into these environments where somebody's like, my job, my thing, my whatever, you're like, what is that? Like you got to be able to relinquish the pride that you are the only person, you are the one. I call it the one monkey syndrome. I say there's no one monkey that just runs a whole show, right? So
No.
immediately every place I go, everything I do, I'm like, let me show you how to do this, let me show you how to do that. I don't
Exactly.
care. And I do understand greatness, and what I mean by this, there are some people who are just hyper super blessed, favored, talented, so they do multiple things well, right? So you
Hmm.
can't, sometimes there's not just one person that can do all the things that you can do, but you can find multiple people. And I don't care if I'm talking like all the way down to the house level. You are not the only one who can mop the floor. You're not the
Right.
only one who can put the dishes in the dish rack. Right. So you get this even in the house where the mother believes I'm the only one who
Yeah.
can do the dishes and mop the floor, and you're tiring yourself and you're exhausting yourself because you
Hmm.
have this management thought that I am the only one that can do it right, as
Yeah.
opposed to the leadership, whereas who's the next man up? Who,
Yes.
let me show you how to put these dishes in this rack the right way, because you finna do it tomorrow. Let me show you how to mop this floor, how to clean this bathroom, and I'm taking it all the way down to the minuscule level, because it even goes all the way up to leadership. Let me show you how to work this $1 million contract. Let me show you how to run this brigade. I don't care if it's my housekeeper. I'm like, baby, let me show you how to do this the way I like it.
Right. Right.
Right. And so for you in that, it's hard. And I'm going to let you tell me, how do you find the people and the pieces to replace you?
So, good question. Part of the leadership hat is knowing your people, right? Um, some people, you can give them an assignment, a task to do with a deadline. That's me. Give me an assignment, the deadline, the budget, all the necessary information, and then leave me alone, because I'll go and get it done. But you also have to know as a leader that not everybody works the way that you do or that I do, right? And yeah, you and
I
I
know. I
are
already know where we're
perfect
going with
examples
it.
of that, right?
You can't
But
give everybody. You can't give everybody the baton and just say run. They like run
no,
where and how fast and where we
exactly.
going and how
And
long we gonna
so,
be here.
there are some people that I once I recognized, and after having conversations with, how do you like to work? What's your work style? It's like nobody's ever asked me that before. I don't know. Okay, well, give us some thought and let's meet tomorrow, right? But you have people who you have to map it all out for them, right? I need you to do this and then do this and then do this step by step. And that's okay
It's okay.
because they can deliver what
Yes.
I
Come,
need them
come
to
on, Lisa.
deliver in that way, right? But if I ask them to, if I say, okay, so here's the budget, here's the deadline, let me know when you're done. And they sit there and they have to think about, then they get overwhelmed.
Yeah.
They're not able to produce. So you have to, as a leader, good leaders know their people and know how to make assignments and give assignments to their people.
Okay, girl, this is gonna be like a two. We're gonna have to either do a part two, or this is gonna be 7 hours. Okay, here's the part two to that, right? Because here, and you keep using the word leader because you're in leadership, because management doesn't do that.
No.
Management treats everybody the same, and that's why
Yep.
when they don't do it right the first time, then you have to do it, right? And then you get to, can't nobody do nothing, right? So this
Right.
this leadership model, right? And there's different people who can do different things in different ways, right? But they all can deliver,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
So if I'm telling you to do something and then you don't do it right the first way, I have to know. And this is what people don't know. When people are not delivering, is usually the leader.
Exactly. Yes.
And I man,
It is.
I can't tell you how many conversations I've had with people. They are not doing this. Them is not doing that. And be really silly here, but I used to love like Caesar, who used to do the dog show with the dogs.
Oh, yes, yes, yes.
I
It's your fault. It's
love
not the
that show,
dog's
right?
fault.
It was
Yes.
one thing he used to always say: when dogs are acting crazy, it usually is not the dog.
Right.
It's
Yes.
it's the person, it's the alpha, right? Because
Yes.
if you are not putting out the right kind of energy, information, and environment, then the dog is stressed,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
Right? And different dogs are
Stress.
different, right? You can't do the
Yeah.
same thing with every dog. Can't do the same thing that you can do with a Rottweiler that you can do with a Chihuahua,
Yeah.
right? So
Yeah.
when you get these personalities and you flood one with information and they're just blinking, I mean, literally blinking, like, what did you just say?
Yeah.
It, how do you, here's the question: how do you, as a leader, know which person to talk to which way?
So I do skip level
Oh,
meetings.
girl, you about to jump on. Come,
I so at my level, I was a executive director. Under me is a senior director. Under the senior director is a director. I would skip the senior director. I would meet with the directors, and I would ask them, what are your challenges? What are your what things make you not want to come to work every day?
ooh,
What are your
is this anonymous? Is this anonymous or face to
Oh yeah,
face?
yes, yes, yes. No, I that information never goes back to
Oh, okay. Because folks ain't finna
their.
say nothing
Oh
when
yeah,
the TV
no, no.
watching.
Again, psychological safety. This is a safe
Okay.
place. This is, what you say stays with me. I'm asking these questions because I'm trying to uh, give you a better space in which to work and be successful. That's
Yes.
my goal as a leader. I have found that people respect that because I'm asking questions, right? Um, I ask them how they like to work, right? And so then when I meet with their manager, I will say, Rodney needs a step-by-step type plan when you're asking him to do tasks. These are the things that I've learned from your people in meeting with them. Um, Renee likes to just give her the budget, the date, the deadline, and the parameters, and let her run with it. She'll get it done. You have to know how your people work, and when they work in that frame, they are successful. When they are successful, they feel good about what they do, and they want to continue to do it. Um, and again, it's just investing in people and understanding who your people are and what they do and how they like to work.
Lisa, you see, I'm trying to move forward. Like we on like pillow one. Like really we ain't gone nowhere. But because you keep throwing these nuggets out. Okay, so here we're going back to the blockade then, because you skipped the
Yes,
level. You skipped
yes,
the whole level,
yes,
right? So now you went under and you got all this information from those who are actually doing the work to get the product out, and now you're bringing them up to the next level when you're saying Renee needs this, Bob needs that, Sarah needs that, but you got a manager in the middle.
yeah. Well,
He's not,
but
he's
see,
not, he's
then,
not a leader. He's a manager because obviously
right.
because there's a reason why you're able to find that out and they can't.
Well, a lot of people don't like to tell their boss, right? What they don't like or what they want. Especially if you, I had one, I'm gonna call her a manager. I had one manager where every morning we kind of get together and we're like, okay, did she take her medicine today? Did she like what version of this person are we going to get today, right? And so, and it was never that we ever wanted to have any kind of conversation other than any conversation that she came to us for or to me for, right? And so doing skip levels removes that. And it also takes and sets up that person that I've skipped. It sets them up for their mid-year or quarterly, depending upon how the companies do it, their reviews, right? So I can establish some goals for them. Like you need to take and put together work plans for your people and how you're going to disseminate information and task work and are you following the guide that I have given you, the information that I have given you about your people? And then I also like to see if you've gone ahead and done anything on your own. Have you met with any of your individuals? And I will go back and check to see if you have. And those are the folks that then, based on the goals that I've set up for them as leaders, if they're not showing those leadership qualities, then they're. And I'm not saying I get rid of anybody, but maybe there's a better
on
place
Tuesday.
for them, huh?
On Tuesdays.
Oh, you're right. But there's, I mean, everybody has a gift.
Yeah.
So then, as a leader, I need to find a more appropriate place in the company where this individual skills can be utilized, because right now you're a blockage on our team, on our
Yeah.
culture.
Dude, let me tell you, like pixie dust, because when we started, you talked about creating this culture and how it was almost manufactured, right? You're because your market and your product was the people, because it was a human resource. And I was like,
Mhm.
yeah, that's all, that sounds great. That sounds like gravy on some rice, maybe even a biscuit. Um, but is that possible? Because if you haven't done high levels of leadership, like I said, I've been in environments where it's the next man up, and because it it works so seamlessly, you don't understand how the culture is created. Now in the military, it's simple. Because we all are one unit, you do what you're told.
Mhm. Mhm.
That's a
Yeah.
easy. That culture is easy. Like you, ain't nobody fit to say nothing, right? And of course, it has a dangerous side in itself, because ain't nobody fit to say nothing. Um,
Right.
right? In medicine, it's an emergency. Like everything's an emergency. It's life or death, right? So we have to next person, next person, next. So So anyway, that's the environments that I have been have manufactured defaults that have to be dealt with, or things go bad, right? But in these environments, I mean, you're talking about some engineering job, like, dude, ain't nobody finna go cuckoo for cocoa puffs if this product don't get online. Maybe somebody might lose some money, right? So how do you manufacture this, right? So when you started talking, I was like, I don't know if is that possible? Like, can you like create something like that? And as I'm sitting here listening to you, realizing that it can be created. However, you do need a culture creating specialist.
Yes. And that would be me.
Yeah, 'cause honey,
Yes.
honey,
Yeah.
these are the things, and so it's what I call leaders creating leaders.
Yes. Absolutely. Yes.
Yeah,
That in itself is a succession plan, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And so, how do you create these leaders?
Training. Um, I mean, it was like training. You're talking about like training a dog or training that we don't like
I
that
mean,
word,
you did
but
it.
but but um, you have to ensure that you have the right people. That you start with the right people.
Yeah.
You really do. You have to have people who can appreciate change, especially if it's a drastic change from how your work environment has always been.
Yeah.
But when you're introducing something that's positive, something that will help everyone at the company, you're gonna get very little resistance. You're gonna get more people who want that, who are going to be on board for that, than not. And so the knots, deal with them like in phase two, right? But the folks who understand mind shift and who appreciate a work culture in which they can thrive, they can use their voice, they can invest in others, they can um, identify, being open to people's differences. That's the empathy part of the pillar, right? Being open to other people's differences. You have people who you have to give step-by-step instructions. You have people who you can give, three things: budget, time, and constraints, and let them go. Um, Being kind, being a good listener. These are the things that who would not want that in their work environment every day? And if you don't want that, do you really want them working for you? Maybe this isn't the right company. Maybe this isn't the right position. So there's different levels in which you can look at and identify moving individuals, moving individuals who may not fit with this new sense of culture, right? So either move them to another position and be mindful, be very, and see that's the other thing about me. Like a one word description: intent. I do everything with intent. And so I'm very intentional about moving people around. I try to move them first within the organization, if not the organization, within the company, and then if not within the company, then outside of the company. And I have tons of resources outside of the company, recruiters and things like that. I'll connect them with a recruiter. Let's find you a workspace that works for you. But this may not be that place.
Girl.
Did I answer your question? I'm
You
not
know
sure
we
that I did. I think I went on a
you know
tangent on that one.
we on pillar number one, right?
Yeah.
That's I mean because
One is empathy.
it's so good. No, it's so good. It's so good. Okay, so gosh, wow. Okay, yeah, I don't even here. Let me. I gotta ask three questions here.
Okay.
Okay, it, we are talking about finding your passion and your purpose and why it's important that you do it, and because that's what we do at Victorious Places, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um, and like Lisa, you just came on here and like mind dumped for like almost an hour, like just like blah, 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 like just dumped, and it was so good. And this is a passion product. Like, how did how did you get to this? Because the first thing that people have to do with finding your passion and purpose is you have to know what your passion project is. And some people are like, I have no idea. I have no clue. I don't know what God wants me to do. I don't know, I'm just and then they go with the whatever that is, and then
Yeah.
whatever just means to them, right? Because I don't know what
Yep.
they're comparing themselves to. You don't have to compare yourself to nobody. You only have to
Right.
compare yourself to who you were yesterday. That the only person that you got to compare yourself to is you yesterday, right? There's nobody
Right.
else. Don't look at nobody's Instagram account or
Absolutely.
who's doing
Absolutely.
whatever, right? Just compare you to you. But like first, because the way that you just talked about this thing, you could tell girl, you were born for this, like literally. Like, but how did you come to this? Like, did God speak to you, Lisa? You shall be like
No,
how did you come
yeah,
to
no.
this?
God speaks to people differently, and for me, He opens and closes doors. And when He closes a door, He closes it shut, where I can't get back in, even if I wanted to.
Hmm.
Um, the Lord closed the door. I mean, slammed it shut last year, and I'm like, what am I gonna do? Uh, so I retired again. And I sat back and thought about the what I had been trying to do for the last 10 years at the company that I had worked for. And I was very proud of what I did. When I left, they threw a huge party for me. I had people from other sites, other states, join in on a Zoom call to say goodbye and tell me how much they appreciated my leadership. And most of the comments were about leadership, and about investing in them individually, investing in their teams, coming up with processes that made their work life easier, um,
I'm
making
sorry,
sure that
that's life work. But go ahead.
right. And that's kind of why I hesitated. But I'm going to say, I mean, like every single day, I found a way to say life work balance. And that if you take care of life,
Yeah.
work will come and be so easy, and you'll be so passionate about what you do. And so my passion really comes out of, um, the Lord has put me in leadership positions where I could impact other people. Quick story, about 2 years ago, I got a Facebook ping from a young lady who, when I was an exec in New York, so this was like 35 years later, she pinged me and she says, I've been looking for you ever since Facebook came on, because I needed you to know how much you impacted my life. She says, I was a junior marketing person. And I remember her. I remember Laura. And she says, I am the leader that I am today because I mimicked everything that you
That's
taught
awesome.
me and that I saw in you. She says, you didn't just talk about it. She said, you were a doer. And I said, when I grow up to be in leadership position, I want to be just like Lisa. I want to be a doer.
Wow.
And 35 years later. And
Wow.
so I kind of feel like that's my purpose. I mean, I didn't realize it back then, 40 years ago now, but um, I believe in people. I believe in the goodness of people.
Yes.
I believe that people really want to bring their best every day.
Yeah.
Um, and if you can't, then I need to figure out why.
Yeah.
Again, going back to investing in others.
Yeah.
And I really feel like when God gives me the opportunity to do that, I better do it. First off, second off, I better do it with excellence, with purpose, with intent. And when I do that, then I am successful in that frame. So success for me isn't about money, title, position. Success is when I am able to tell God, yes, I'm doing exactly what you've allowed me to do, and I'm grateful for that.
Wow. Okay. So it's God closes doors, and even
Ooh,
when you try to get back through them, you can't.
yeah.
Okay. And so how do you battle? Because these are the common battles. Like I couldn't do my purpose and my passion. One, because some people really they truly don't know what it is. They just don't
Mhm.
know how God speaks, because really people are waiting for the baptism of Jesus moment where a
Yeah.
dove comes down and the heavens crack open and then God says, "This is my son," and if they don't hear that, they believe, "Oh, I don't know." And I say, "Baby, you know." Oh, you know, right? You just maybe need to explore what it is that's in your hand, because usually God tells you to use what's in your hand. So it's the
Yeah.
things that you are really great at already, right? So
Right. Right.
in speaking with you, you've been great at this your whole time.
Yeah, and a lot of the best inventions come out of necessity or need, right?
Yes.
And so
Yes.
you already know what you're good at or
Yeah.
what you need. Like
Hmm.
I need in a work environment for people to feel safe, for people to use their voice, for people. So then I have to create that.
Yes.
I was fortunate to be at a company that allowed me the bandwidth to create that
Yeah.
culture. But I get it. I get not knowing because
Yeah.
I'll tell you, it was later in life, late in life, second career life cycle in life that I realized what my passion
Yeah.
and purpose truly is.
Yeah.
Um, and it's okay not to know,
It's okay not to know.
but it's not okay to sit stagnant and do nothing. So keep listening for God.
Hmm.
When you listen, He will speak to you in again in different ways. He don't speak to me the way He speaks to Veneda, right? But you do you do.
Vanita doesn't listen anyway, so it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what.
But it's focus,
Yeah.
right? Focus on what you love to do.
Hmm.
If you so he, Our bishop, our late bishop, Bishop Thomas, used to say, if you don't like children, don't be a teacher.
Don't be teaching no kids. Don't do
Right.
that.
I would I totally respect all teachers.
Yeah.
The job
No.
is
The answer is
something.
no.
Yeah, for me too. And that's what I was
No.
getting to. I absolutely,
No.
what they do is amazing. I could never
Mm-mm.
do it.
Mm-mm.
I'd be in jail. I don't
Mm-mm.
like children that way. But
Mm-mm.
I love to invest in adults.
Yes.
And I love to invest in people who care about others and that
Yeah.
aren't selfish and self-centered.
Yeah. I like you didn't come to this till I was older, but I've always done this. I have been since I was young, um, investing in people, helping people, serving people. That's why I love now to help people find their passion and purpose so they can help serve and give to others. Like it's so easy for me. That's like what are you doing and how can you do that to help somebody else? Like that's like if I can do nothing else in my life, that's it. Like finding talking to you, Lisa, how can we get you to help somebody else? And these creating these culture like it when you start talking about it, I was like, honey, if that is possible, Lord, if it is possible,
Yeah.
please, can we get this? Can we get this? Can we put this in how they say, if I can get this in a jar and I'd
And
sop it
so,
up.
yeah,
Right.
right,
Because
right,
because
right.
because I think we're losing that. We're
Yes.
losing the ability to care for each other and care
Hmm.
for people because we don't think that it's important and everything ebbs and flows. We've been here before.
Right. We have.
Right? We've been here
Yep.
before. And then you find out that no, you do need to care about people if you want to sell your product. You
Right.
do.
Yes.
So just talking to you, so that's the first one. And then the next question is, okay, so you find out that God wants you to do a certain thing. And this is the next thing that people say is, oh, but I'm a private person. I can't be putting my it can't be putting me out here. And out here is different. 20 years ago, there was no social medias and no whatever. You just put your little business together. You worked in a little local office, and you grew it and you scaled it to something maybe national. But you had time to mature and incubate
Yes.
now day one you need to be face out people
Yes.
got and then they got something to say about you and you don't even know me,
Right.
right? So
Yeah.
now when people say I'm a private person, it means something completely different. Like people is they think they really have the ability to say something about your life. Like it's
Yeah.
out, you out here, girl. You out here in these streets.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know, so how do you go from, okay, now I know what God wants me to do, I'm gonna do it, but I'm a private person.
Well, I consider myself a private person too. I am an extrovert in work because I feel like I'm good at my craft. I know my craft. But on my in my personal life, I'm very private.
Very private.
But I'm good being at home. I love my home setup. I love where I live. I love you know um, being alone from time to time. I love traveling, but I can separate the two. So when I like, I'll post some things on LinkedIn, right, about leadership, mostly about leadership and the whole empathy effect. But I don't go back and really like read it to see what comments are there for um, people being nasty and mean. And I can say, fortunately, I haven't had any of that. But I've always had the, again, mindset that I really don't care
Do
what others think
can
of
you
me,
can
because
you say that again for
they
the
don't
people in the back?
I I don't care
I do not
because they
care.
don't pay my bills. And see, I said that back in college.
Well, here's the two things. I'm gonna tell you two things that's gonna change your life. They ain't your God and they don't pay your bills.
Come on now. Right. That's it. Right there. That's it.
Okay,
Yeah.
so for
If
the
you're not
private
paying my
people,
bills, I really don't
yeah, and first
care.
of all, no, let me start off with the big one. You ain't my God.
Right.
Right.
That
So
right
I
there.
have to answer to God. And I love
Yes.
that story in the Bible where he gives them the talents, he gives them the
Yes.
gifts, he gets right. And he's gonna come
Hmm.
back. He's gonna like, okay, yo, what you do with it? Let me get that interest. I gave you $1, I expect $1.25. I gave you that
Right.
10, I expect 22.75. And you talk about nah, because I'm
You
private.
have nothing.
you
Yeah.
like, you like private, girl.
Right.
Look,
Yeah. Like,
and
I
so
gave you that position. I gave you that position. I gave you that title. I gave you these people under you. And what did you do with them?
what did you do with it?
Did you
Right,
help them grow? Did
right.
you did you help them to?
Did you show them me? Because it's something that you said that was so specific. The
Yeah.
young lady called you and she says, I love what I saw you do, not
Yeah.
say, not what you did. And what
Yeah.
you did was you showed her the beauty of being a master of your gift.
Yes.
Right. So God says, hey, take this gift that I'm gonna get out there and go do. They'll know you by they're gonna know you by the way that you love, the way you give, the way you
Yes.
show. Right.
Yeah.
The way you do it, right? You're gonna do it with such a high level, right? That's what I said. Don't you ain't got to worry about comparing yourself to nobody, right? Just you yesterday, right? When you do it
Yes.
at a high level, when you're so good at it, right? People are like, oh my God, like I love the way that you do it. There's 50 people else doing 50,
Yeah.
50 people else, 50 other people doing it, but I
Yeah.
love the way that you do it. I love the way that you sound when you do it. You speak to me, right? And I'm only looking for my 50 fish that God made me responsible for. He didn't make
Yes.
me for responsible for 5,000 fish. He made me responsible for these 50 fish.
Right.
But you've got to be the one to get out there and say, okay, I know I'm private and I'm very private. I girl, I'm gonna just say, I think all this social media is like straight from Hades. These people they think they literally have the right to speak about you and they've never met you, right?
Yes.
When
Yeah.
you do what you're doing from God, you only have one judge.
Yes.
That's God. God, did I do it the way that you wanted me to do? Did
Yes.
I say it the way you wanted me to say it? And did it produce the fish? Did it produce the harvest that you wanted? That's all I
Right.
care about. When Susie get on here talking about, I can't believe she out here, she only out here for the money. She okay, well, Susie, you have the right to feel how you feel, but I still got to do what God told me to do.
But I'm gonna tell you too, V, that with the way social media um, is, I don't know, behaving, how it works in society, uh, that proves to me that we really, really need the empathy effect.
We do.
There is none.
There
There,
is, and there
there
is
is
no
none.
guardrails, and it's so
None.
easy to put the guardrails. First of all, I saw they put a little guardrail. They used to have like an up and down, thumbs up,
Oh
thumbs
yeah.
down. But people could
Mm,
actually thumbs down your video. So now
yeah.
they only put where you can. They
Yeah.
only count the thumbs up. That no, that's a form of empathy. Nobody should be able to come up and if you don't like it, don't watch it. Right?
Right.
If I'm not your cup of tea, you don't want to see my thing, go and watch something else. Don't
Right.
spend your time making sure you let me know that you don't like it,
Yeah.
right? I don't
Well,
need you to put any negative comments here. If I'm not your if I'm not your cup of tea, then don't watch me.
yeah.
Right? You don't need to spend any time letting me know that I'm not what you like,
Yeah.
right? Go find what you do like and then spend time spending
There.
energy telling them how much you like them.
Right. Right. Yeah. Hurt people hurt people.
Right. And social media loves
It gives
pain.
them the platform to do
Give
that.
them the platform. So anybody who puts a negative comment on there, and this is another thing, and I'm just gonna say it all right. Everybody on social media needs to have a name. I don't want to speak to Skip Boo, Iggy Boo, 2929. Nah, boo. Put your name on here. And I'm not saying I'm
Right.
gonna be out here talking about something, I'll be outside, talking about meet me outside. But I'm
Right.
just saying, right? Because you got all this social media courage, right?
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
just when somebody says, if I'm just saying, if it's Veneda polite, somebody can be like, "Hey, Veneda, I saw you on, such and such a thing. What you said was really mean because society will govern itself, right? And then the social media platform can say what you said was mean. We're going to pull back your privileges for 10 days. And then when you do it again, we're going to pull it back for 30 days. You're not allowed to go out here and just put mean comments on people's things.
Yeah.
That's not what this platform was for. It was for people to share and care. And now
Right.
it's become a commerce of hate. So
Yeah.
you need to literally, regulate your own platform
Yes.
because it should not be about all of this hate, but you allow it because it's getting you clicks.
Yes. And
I'm
well,
just
and it
gonna say
makes you
that.
feel like you're, makes you feel good.
Does it though? But
Oddly.
because hate doesn't make you feel good. Hate only produces hate. Whatever you plant in the ground, that's the harvest you get. Hate only makes you feel more hateful.
Well, that's true. That's
That's
true.
all.
But
Yeah, it ain't helping you. It's not. Go find
you can
something
do
that you
it.
like
Yes.
and go put
And
some good comments on there and stop
right.
wasting your time putting negative comments on people's stuff.
You
That's
reap
okay.
what you
Sorry.
sow. That's okay. You reap what you sow. You're right.
Okay.
You're so right.
All
You're
right.
so
So private, you got your purpose.
yes.
You're private. Okay. Last thing is, how do we get these products out? Product production is so convoluted. Like it's girl. I need a website. I need forums. I need like it's so much to get the product out. I have been in analysis paralysis for over 12 years. Like and here's the word that I'm going to use. I'm a perfectionist and I worry. I
Yeah.
worry and I keep so I'm working on my product in the back like a little mad scientist, right? And then when I go to put it out, let me put this little bow on it.
Yeah.
Wait, but and because how do you get the product to the people? One, when you're a perfectionist, you worry, or two, just product production is so hard.
Well, I talked about MVP, closer to the top of the hour, um, minimal viable product, right? And so for most, I'm going to say, 75 to 85% of products, you can roll them out in phases, right? You start with the minimal viable product. So you want transportation, okay? Well, let me build you a bike while I'm working on. Let me give you a bike while I'm building and working on a motorcycle. Okay, well, the bike gets me where I need to go from home to the grocery store. Now, though, I need to go 15 miles away and the bike's not going to work anymore. So let me give you a motorcycle while I work on a car. Okay, well, now I need to work in another state across, the state lines, and it's like 50 miles away. So, okay, but you've always had transportation. It's just been in steps or in phases. So I'm giving you the minimal that you need to get to where you need to get to. That works for, like I said, 75 to 85% of products. Where it doesn't work is when you're in the life-saving business, like pharmaceuticals. You have to get it right the first time.
or you get the commercial. If you've used such and
Oh,
such
my
and such,
land.
and your left kidney fell out, and your toe exploded. But go ahead.
Yeah. And so for people who are perfectionists like you really, it's a mind shift. It's a mind shift.
It is.
Take the minimum off the shelf, work it,
Mm.
and then push it out. And while that's out, now you can work on the next piece and develop whatever bugs there are in the first piece, right? And
Oh,
so
girl,
it's
stop.
it's
Okay,
phases.
okay, no, because we're in therapy. Because we switched over to a therapy session right now. Okay, so no, I'm being, here's the people. I'm talking to people, and I'm like, okay, let's get you think. Oh, you gotta have at least a website, and you gotta have a social media page, and you gotta have the forms, I mean, these are not simple things, right? I
No,
mean, and there
and
are a
they
lot of
take
products,
time.
right? They take time. All right. And so even for like a simple thing, right? And then when you put it out, you're like, oh, I put it out and the form wasn't working, and people were ordering and they didn't get their download, and it's like it becomes a first base catastrophe,
Hmm.
right? And so
And
you
then
pull it back.
you call it failure. And you never
Right.
needed to. You never needed to get to the point where you're calling something, or you're calling your product or your company a failure when you're in the first phase of it, right? Because you didn't
Oh.
set it up right, right?
Mm.
So for example, I could do mine on Instagram and say, here's my product. If you're interested, reach out, DM me. I don't need a form. I don't need right. And then while I'm increasing my visibility, while I am now talking to people who are interested, who did reach out, I didn't need a website for all of that. Now, do I want a website? Yes, eventually. But did I need it to start getting my product out there? No. So there are ways, little steps, step by step, that you can put your product out there and your information and yourself out there without having to wait a year and a half to get everything done and get it all perfected. Because I tell you, especially in technology, things change week by week. So whatever you thought you were putting out for a product a year and a half ago is not even relevant anymore. And so you put out the product that's relevant for right now with the minimal viable information and product necessary to get the bus rolling.
Girl, you done saved my whole natural business soul. Because no, really, I'm telling you, perfection. It, and a lot of the stuff that I speak about, it speaks to me. I don't just come out here preaching like, at first and I'm gonna be really honest, like it was a hair thing, right? Like my hair had to be right, and I had to go get a weave and a wig, and I got to get the makeup and the lights, and girl, I'm full blown natural. These are natural
I
curls
love
right
them.
now, right?
I
And
love
I
them.
said, I'm gonna do this podcast with my natural curls, because that is one of the things that has always stopped me, right? I just want people to get to this point where you were talking about the MVP, the minimum viable product, right? The product is you,
Yes.
right? You are the product. People
Yes.
want to know what you have, right? And so
Yeah.
even doing this podcast, it's like, okay, Veneda, like really, like you know how to invest in people. I am in my sister, and I've only met a few of us like on the planet. I'm being serious, like investors of people who really care about other people doing well,
Yeah. Yep.
right?
Yeah.
Right. You find, and I'm an investor of people. So I'm like, I need to find how to help people help, serve, and give. But how do I help people, do that? Right. You got to put yourself out there. And then I went into, my hair's not perfect. And if y'all don't like this pixie cut, because this
I
pixie
love
cut
it.
is
I
cute.
love it. Yes.
Right. I don't have my wig on. I was like, no, minimum viable product. I need to talk to people who I love or myself about finding your purpose, not worrying about perfection, and getting that minimum viable product out and not getting in your own way. And girl, like I said, you just the business soul you done threw out here, and we done got to one whole pillar.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well,
Wow. Lisa, fire emojis. The
thank
world, the
you.
world on fire.
Thank you.
That means that we have to do a part two.
That would be awesome.
Yeah,
I'm
like
available whenever you need me.
yeah, that's it. Like we have tapped in at the tip of the iceberg. You're amazing.
So
How
are
do
you.
I,
Thank you. Thank you for what
yeah,
you
and I'm
do.
cute
And
too.
yes, and you're cute. But no,
Oh,
for real, thank you for your product, for your brand. You are your brand, and
yeah.
you are one of the kindest persons that I've ever met.
Oh,
And I love that we're kindred spirits in the fact that we do invest in other people. And
invest
so,
in other people.
yeah, and that we walk by faith and we
Yeah.
trust what God
Yeah.
has us
And
doing.
we're
So,
doers of the word and not just hearers,
yes, yes,
right?
absolutely,
And I'm starting
absolutely.
like this. I don't want anything techie or I want people to, I don't want a big studio. I don't want anything to start off with, right? I just want to progressively get bigger because I can't uh, teach you what I haven't done, right? Because everybody's like, oh, because for me, when I got my studio, it had to be perfect and the hair and the lights and no, I'm going to start with this minimal viable product. And I'm just
Yay.
going to start here. I'm just going to put it out here that we are here. So, okay, first things, how do we get in touch with you?
Wow.
When I guess when we do our next one, you're gonna have a way to get in touch with you because I'm sure after this, everybody's gonna be like, "How do we get in touch with her?"
Uh, I can give you, I'm happy to give my email address. It
Okay,
is LLKINCAID. So it's LL Kincaid at proton, PROTON.me.
all right.
LL Kincaid at proton.me.
I'm definitely gonna put that in the description so that people can reach out to
Thank
you.
you. And you
Um,
can, I'm on LinkedIn. I'm also on
and she's on
LinkedIn.
LinkedIn as Lisa Kincaid. So
Yes. Yes.
definitely, I want to make sure that people can reach out to you with your minimum viable product.
Yes.
And we're going to start here. You are also, so like Victoria's Places, when we do our check-in, hopefully in a year, we're going to see where both of us are at, right?
Yes.
I wanted to,
Absolutely.
I wanted to start from scratch with companies who are far, companies who are just starting, see how we've grown, see what we've done, see where we are. Like literally, your product is necessary, especially in a time where people who are diverse, people who want to be included, that's something that's not popular, even though those are
Mhm.
some of the most beautiful words in the world. Like everybody should want everybody there. Everybody should want to be included. These are beautiful words. So those words are being attacked. So, but like you said, when people are spending trillions of dollars, money is green.
Yes.
So yeah, you'll find out real quick when if you don't want people to buy your products, then you are going to take a downfall in the amount of dollars that you put out into your product. So anyway, I
Yes.
cannot wait to see what a year from now, where we are as
Yes.
companies starting out, me being here 12 years, holding on to that dollar in my pocket, and you just starting. I cannot see where we are in a year. But Lisa, would you please come back? We've tapped into one of your four pillars. I would love to tap into the other ones, the safety, the leadership, and the life work, because they're so important.
Yes.
And so this has been awesome.
Thank you.
Any last words? Because you're amazing.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you for the opportunity and the platform, because I am just starting out with the empathy effect, but I wholeheartedly believe in it. I believe it. There is a need. It is not for every company, but I know that there are companies out there. Otherwise, the Lord would not have given it to me. So um, thank you for the opportunity and the platform. And I love you, love you, love you.
Love you more. All right, VIP family. Thank you so much for jumping in and jumping on. Can't wait to see where you are so you can be victorious in every place. We don't want you to have victory in one place. We want you to have victorious in every area. As she said, life work balance. So that's everything where you're building, where your business is, where you're blessing and balance. The biggest one being balance, being able to balance all these things in life. You can't be financially good and then your family's falling apart. You can't be doing it good at work and then be not doing good with your health. It's a balance of all these things. That's what being victorious in this place is. It's all the places of your life. So I am Veneda. I love to help people find their passion and their purpose so that they can help and serve and give to others. I was here with Lisa Kincaid, the creator of the Empathy Effect. This has been a mind blowing hour. Lily, I have changed with my MVP. I'm throwing it out there. DM me at my Instagram. I'm kidding. Don't. I don't even have an Instagram. Anyway, I don't even know what to do if somebody DM me in my Instagram. Like, Lisa. But definitely so excited that you guys got to see her. She is coming back because we got more pillars to go through. Love you guys, many blessings, and make sure whatever God tells you to do, you do that.
Yes.
Because He will bless you, give you favor, and He will keep you. All right, talk to you guys later. Many blessings. Bye
Bye
now.
bye.